I had 4 cars stolen in 30 days. So theft is always like one of the biggest challenges of business. It can cripple a business. It put a business out of business, theft, from whether it's outside theft or even inside theft. And that's something that we have struggled with since the beginning. It wasn't as bad early on. So, the car theft, right? So we were mostly parts and salvage, okay? So it didn't really have like cars to steal per se, so it was more of break-in. You have the alarms and you learn the hard way, because as alarm systems have evolved and everything. I remember my very first alarm, I thought I was good. You had the alarms and it called out over the phone lines, come in the next morning and, doors kicked in, cash registers ripped open, stuff missing everywhere, They just went and cut the phone lines. Well, what good is an alarm if all you got to do is cut the phone lines? So then we got the cellular backup, which was like the critical, because I was naive. I'm not a thief. I don't know how to break into it, but I'm telling you, these thieves, they know. They carry police scanners. These professional thieves, they're not dummies. It's unfortunate. So I get the cellular backup and it helps, but you still, have the people that are going to smash and grab. I remember getting a call at, 2 a.m. Okay, we have an alarm at EUROASIAN Auto. I go down and I live 30 miles away. So it kind of stinks, in that aspect. It's good and bad. So I come to my business at 2 a.m. and find the front door smashed in completely. So they broke in, alarm went off, grabbed a few things, left. But I'm still sitting here with a breached business, right? So what do? It's wintertime. It's probably 40 degrees outside. 2 a.m, I park my car in front of my door business and sleep until morning until somebody can come out and fix the door. Welcome to the life of business ownership. What are you going to do? You can't leave your business with the front door exposed or whatever. So, always people jumping the fence and you got dogs and this and that. But it's a constant battle between making money and not getting robbed blind. There's things that happen to you in your life and they kind of leave a mark, So I come in one day and not even knowing that I'd been broken into, okay? When you have salvage yard, right? You got to get creative because you're taking stuff apart. And I had custom made tools and every tool, I had more tools could take some than any shop had. Guys at shop would call me up, hey, I can't get this off. And I had a tool for everything. And I had it in our north building and it was all concrete, right? There's no real way, there's no doors. And so this is an old building. So it's got these metal framed windows. The window's only this big. That's it, right? And it's all metal frame, so you think that's pretty secure. And I got motion sensor in that bay because that's where my tools are. So I had my tools, really proud of them, completely organized, right? Every tool you can possibly imagine. And I come in one day and go to the back shop where my stuff's all secure, and my tools are gone. They broke in through a side window this big. Somebody crawled through the window. The frustrating thing about it was we have a motion sensor in that room. And I was telling my alarm guy, hey, this motion sensor is faulty. I need you to get out here and change this motion sensor. I'll get to you. And so literally they handed a welder out. Talking like, I don't even know how they fit, but so they had somebody inside and literally just I had hours and hours, no alarm, and just emptied my shop. I can't tell you just what a gutted, and it's never been the same since. And that's 15 years ago, and it just took the wind out of my sail working, because I like working on cars, but only when you've got the tools. That was the business and the salvage and that, but then started doing more cars. And, and I really I'd been broken into, I've had thefts like that, hadn't really had big things Well, the tools was a lot of money, but hadn't had like cars stolen. So now all of a sudden, we got cars lined up out front, and I'm making that transition from salvage yard to car dealer. I hadn't had a car stolen in 20 years. Never had a car stolen. I had 4 cars stolen in 30 days. What do we do? You got to think like a thief. So we're putting cars out there. It was a Chevy truck, a Honda Civic, a Volvo wagon. So these cars were showing up in the morning and a car's missing. And I'm like, is it that easy to steal a car? And they're under lights, they're under camera. They don't care. Like the thieves, they don't really care. And cameras, you think you got cameras as a deterrent? Not really. I mean, it's not what you think it is. So be careful with this false sense of security with cameras. I recovered 2 of the cars. The Civic came back, and it's funny because I don't even understand. The motor and stuff was still in it, but it was loose, and there was some stuff missing in the car. But the Civic came back. I got a call on a truck 2 years later. We just pulled over a truck. It was in another state. It had been retitled. This is 2 years later, and what's interesting is they found the truck, but I never got it back. I don't even understand. It's like, okay, we found your truck, we got it, and this and this and that. And I don't know the legal paperwork of it, but it was already written off, years ago. So as I evolved into buying cars, when I was selling parts and stuff, I was at the business every day, open to close. I was there. So I'm watching my guys. I'm watching the business. I know what's going on, right? I'm very observant of the happenings of my business. Well, when you're chasing cars, well, now all of a sudden my business changed where I need to be out and mobile. So I'm relying on my employees and stuff to watch over my business while I'm gone. And this opened up an completely new can of worms. So I went from being robbed externally to being way worse, robbed internally. Just guys literally just catching them on camera, just walking out with stuff and throwing it over the fence and picking it up at lunch. Throwing it over the back fence, driving around the next day, picking it up at lunch. Just stealing tools, I just caught people all the time. Every now and then I review cameras, something's missing. And I'm looking on Marketplace, okay? I'm shopping on Marketplace for stuff, and I'm seeing my own personal items on Marketplace. Like, wait a minute, that's mine, Like I'm talking, some of my stuff for my own race cars and my own, I see a racing steering wheel that I had just ordered in, and I'm like, and I go and I look at the box behind my counter and there's no steering wheel in it, and it's on Marketplace, It's just like, are you kidding me? So my employees are supplementing their income, but they're not working for me. They're literally out there just stealing me blind. And then the people that are supposed to be managing and watching are just in there, staring at their phone, looking on the internet, just not even paying attention. So that's been a real struggle with that. Another interesting story on the employee theft is you're trying to help your employees out. They're working for you. They get into hardships. You need them to work. So it's a business thing and a personal thing. I've been in business 30 years, and that can harden you, right? But I still resist that. I want to believe in people. And so somebody's down on their luck. So I literally, this guy, his car broke down. So I'm like, take this cheapest car that I've got, right? And you can drive around for a couple days so you can get your car going again, I'm being nice. He doesn't show up for work. And I get a phone call. Hey, we have your car. It's in another town, impounded, And it was like a Chevy Cobalt. It's a $1,500 car, And I'm literally going, do I want to go through the hassle of paying the storage fees, going out there, hauling the car back, or, because who knows if it runs or drives or not. So I'm like, well, I just probably should go get it, So the interesting thing is, so I go to this holding lot for this tow company where he got stopped by the police, right? And he got arrested, which is why he didn't show up to work. And then the car got impounded. So I go retrieve the car. I just figured, I probably should get it back. And so I go into the car and I go to get it out of the lot. It is full of stuff from my shop. Literally from tools to, I had like a $5,000 carbon bicycle in the back seat, along with everything else. And he probably, who knows what they confiscated from him when he got arrested. But literally, I'm just beside myself that I loan a guy a car and he just uses it to rob me blind. You know, you're trying to run a business, you're trying to help people, and theft is a constant battle.
5 years ago, the first sponsor we ever had here on the VINwiki channel was Caffeine and Octane. Now, they're our local Atlanta Cars and Coffee meetup that I've been going to for 15 or so years now, but it is now the largest monthly recurring automotive gathering on Earth. Now, you'll also recognize Caffeine and Octane from their television show, and the next season of that airs very soon on Motor Trend. In their quest for further automotive world domination, they just bought the legendary Lanier Motor Speedway, which is across the street from Road Atlanta. So throughout the next year, we're going to have a lot of amazing events there that you'll be invited to join. But the coolest project they've deployed lately is called highoctane.tv, and it's a free streaming network that you can access from any smart TV, Roku, Fire Stick, smartphone, or a computer, and it'll give you access to a ton of programming, including all 5 seasons of their show, some content from creators we love like David Patterson, That Dude in Blue, and a ton more. Soon there will be some content from VINwiki on there as well. So visit the link in the description below to learn more about the amazing world of Caffeine and Octane.